Hello, everybody. My name is Catherine Robinson. I'm the moderator and host for Swiss Online Marketing Conference. Today, I'm speaking English, normally in German, but today I have Juan Baron with me. Hello, Juan. Warmly welcome.
Thank you very much, Catherine. Very nice to see you.
So Juan is working for the company Decentriq, and he will be our keynote speaker on the 29th of September at 9:15. So Juan, before we go into detail about the presentation, tell me a little bit about you. Who are you? What are you doing? Interesting topics.
Well, Catherine, you and I met when I was just arrived in Switzerland. So as you can see, my name is Juan Baron. I am not from Switzerland. I was born and raised in Colombia, up in the Caribbean. And then I spent almost 15 years in the US, mostly working in advertising technology startups. And I moved to Switzerland 7 years ago to work at Ringier in many topics around digital transformation, which was one of the reasons why we met.
Yes.
And I recently joined Decentriq to help the company expand into the media and advertising space, because it's a space that is actually being highly regulated because of GDPR and similar laws around that. And also the platforms are controlling how users are getting tracked. So therefore, that's why Decentriq exists.
So you can say you are an advertising technology freak and specialist. That's your also why they hired you. That's your profession and your aim.
That's my background.
That's your background. And in the role where you're working now, you are business developing manager. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm a director of business development and strategy, mostly focused on the media and advertising space. It's a very complex market, and there's many different players, many intermediaries. There's the complexities around the publisher and also the marketers, and there's also the agencies in between, and there's also a plethora of ad tech solution providers in the space. So it can be quite confusing. We're not the only data clean room provider as well, but we're quite different in terms of how we built our technology.
So Decentriq, tell me a little bit about that. Decentriq is a Swiss company, and data cleaning is your topic.
Yes. So data cleaning is not the right. We don't clean the data. We don't wash your mistakes. Let's put it this way.
Yes.
So Decentriq is a Swiss company based in Zurich. Primarily, it was founded in 2019. And it started its roots with highly sensitive data collaboration. The two founders were former Teralytics employees. So the concept of collaborating or enabling a mobile provider, like a telco provider, using their super sensitive data for use cases is a very complicated and legal complex issue. Mm-hmm. Now, with confidential computing, the underlying technology, and data clean rooms, we enable that technical playground, but with compliance and security in mind. Mm-hmm. So, for example, a publisher like Ringier can bring their subscriber data, their reader interests, and for example, a bank, call it, I don't know, Credit Suisse or UBS or whoever, can bring their CRM data, and each party can trust that the technology allows them to control how the data is used, computed, and the output, always keeping privacy and security in mind.
So you can say exactly the right technology for the digital space right now.
Well, it is one of the promising, I wouldn't call it the silver bullet, because it's really that's one thing that I've learned in 15 plus years that I work in ad tech. It's very difficult to predict the future within 12 months.
Yes.
GDPR, it all started with GDPR, but then now Safari with Apple preventing third-party cookies. Chrome is moving in this direction, even though they postponed the third-party cookie deprecation until 2024. But already the market is moving in this direction. You also even have Firefox stripping out UTM parameters from the URLs.
Mm.
So you just don't know what the world would look like in 12 months or 24 months. One thing is for sure is that first party will remain. It is the only thing that will remain into the publishers or the brand's control. And then what we want to do is enable that first party data collaboration to take place.
Wonderful. You're going to have your speech on the 29th, the keynote speak, the first speech in the morning, 9:15. Please tell us a little bit, what are you going to talk about?
So for us, it's critical that we educate the market. What is a data clean room? Why does it fit into the media and advertising space? And introduce Decentriq within that context. We have quite a few use cases that are applicable to the audience. A lot of audience in attendance are still trying to figure out what they're going to do with their data, whether they even have the right data. And some of them are probably sitting on a treasure trove, on a gold mine of data, and they just haven't been able to monetize it in a way, or to actually leverage the power that they have. So what we're trying to do here is, for us, it's a very complex topic, and we're trying to educate the market as much as we can. There's quite a few data clean room providers out there. Not all data clean rooms are created equal. So for us, it's super important for us to educate the market, make sure that people understand what they're buying. Ad tech has always been known to, being snake oil salesmen. And we definitely don't want to we don't want to come across that at all. We want to really educate the market.
And can you tell me a little bit, for whom is it? You talked about banks, you talked about publishers. These are rather big organizations. Who are you targeting in your speech?
We are targeting large advertisers and medium to large advertisers, and obviously the publishers. The publishers who have logged in users, who are prioritizing first party data strategies, because they see this as the only method to survive, right? In terms of, if you're gonna be a publisher in the future, you have two options. You either do contextual advertising and first party data advertising. It's a combination of both. The same applies for a marketer. For a marketer, contextual is going to be the new thing moving forward. But if you're sitting on a treasure trove of data, like your CRM data, transactional data, you want to leverage that. And this is an opportunity for these marketers to understand that there's new technologies out there that allow them to use that data in a very compliant way.
That sounds extremely interesting and on the spot for what we are talking about right now in the digital space. So I'm really happy that you will be our keynote speaker on the 29th.
Of course. Thank you.
Yes. See you then.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.